Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us today. Happy Sunday. Welcome to Sundays with Katrina. We're going to get some craftiness going on here. So we'll go ahead and say hello as soon as I know you're here so I can say hello. And I am going to bring this up on our iPad and go ahead and share this with our groups so everybody knows how to find us quickly and easily. There's our VIPs and our team. Okay, so we have that all shared out. Tonight we are featuring the autumn trees, and I will show that once we change our screen layout here. But for now, just going to go over some quick housekeeping, starting with our paper pumpkin. We are now in the October subscription period, and can you believe October is just a few days away? Wednesday will be October 1st, and that is literally just a couple days away from now. Just crazy to me. So for October, the Cozy Christmas will be the kit. It does have a really cute box coming with it. It's going to be 9 heartfelt Christmas cards that will have classic charm and flocked accents. So you're going to make 3 each of 3 designs. You're going to get 9 coordinating envelopes, pre-cut paper pieces, and soft stitched look flocking. Shiny red sequin embellishments, and the coordinating colors will be basic beige, cherry cobbler, garden green pecan pie, and real red, with your ink spot being pecan pie. And like I said, the coordinating box will go with the whole theme. So that is available now. You can get in on that as long as you have your subscription in order by October 10th. After October 10th. Hey, Kay, so glad to see you join. We'll be moving into November, crazy as it seems. And it does coordinate with the add-on dies. These are called the Abundant Joy dies, and these dies do work for the October, November, and December kits. They will coordinate. Those are specific to subscriber only, exclusive to subscriber only, I should say. And then the next thing up would be the online exclusives. Oh, let's see. For Paper Pumpkin, though, real quick, I did forget to put up here the link. If you would like to subscribe, that is a real easy link to get there. And then next up is our, how come that didn't go? There it is. Our online exclusives. So they did drop those back in September or early September. It's back in, we're still September for a couple more days. But lots of beautiful suites. We got the Gathering Together suite collection, which we shared the other day, which is absolutely gorgeous. The Modern Christmas suite collection. Let's see. That's the Modern Christmas. Then we have the Elegant Pine Snowflake Suite. This one's gorgeous. We'll be showing that in a few weeks. And then lots of bundles, the beautiful pumpkins, the homemade treats, snowflake kisses, the Woof Pet Love Bundle. That one cracks me up. Festive Friends Bundle, which we will be working with next week. That is my plan for next weekend. And then the Pine Tree Trimmings. So again, lots of great drops in September. And we'll be getting ready for another drop in November. The other fun thing coming up, here's the QR code if you'd like to go check out the online exclusives very quick, or the link. The Advent calendar. This just dropped a couple of days ago. This is While Supplies Last. This is also a really fun group of product that they put together, and it's behind 12 little doors. So it's like the 12 days of gifting. And those little gift boxes, once you pull out your crafty goodies from them, you could actually reuse this to do an advent calendar with family and friends. So you could certainly refill these little things with something after you've done your own little advent. These do make great gifts, but again, like I said, they are while supplies last. So far they're hanging in there, but I don't know how long we're going to last. You do get 2 sleeves of stamps. One is going to be images, the other one's sentiments, and then all of these little gifts behind the doors are product that you can use to create your cards with those stamps. So they're going to kind of coordinate with the stamps. I don't know what's behind those doors. Mine has not arrived yet. I'm expecting mine, I think, Friday. So we can start diving in and checking it out once it gets here. But for right now, it's all a big mystery and for fun. World Card Making Day is coming up. This is next weekend, Saturday, from 4 to 5. Stampin' Up! Is holding a craft along. Registration does close, I believe, on the 3rd. So you have up until the 3rd to sign up. Probably now the kit that coordinates that they're using, you'd get it after the fact, but it is a fabulous kit. It does have a card keeper, a nice like 3 bins in one, cardboard card keeper, and then all the cards, of course, to go along with the kit. But so if there's something that does interest you, the kit is still available. Like I said, you would probably get it after the event, but you could still watch the event and join in the fun. And then just to remind everybody about the Card Genie, Sue, I haven't seen you pop on yet, but I do want to say thank you for your feedback on the Card Genie. She enjoyed it and plans to use it some more. My Card Genie is a ChatGPT chat bot that you can go in. You just need a free ChatGPT account, and then you would just use this QR code to use the Card Genie. She can give you the measurements for cutting and scoring different fun folds. She can give you card layout ideas. She's just going to ask you a couple questions, and she'll get you started on your crafting journey. This is great for if you're having a little lack of inspiration, but you need to create something, but you know the theme that you want, like a birthday or thank you or thinking of you, whatever the case may be. Like I said, she'll ask you a few questions about what you're going to design or want to design, and then she can help you out with the rest. Or you can go in there having know exactly what you want to make, but you just need those measurements for those fun folds. She can figure those out for you as well. And she'll even link you to products so you can go directly to my store to pick something up if you need it. All right, let's get this party started. So we're going to move over here to our desktop, and the stamp set, like I said, bundle that we are featuring tonight is the Autumn Trees. This is the other half of the suite that is in the mini catalog. If you recall, last week we did the Amber Autumn. So this is the second bundle that was part of that whole suite. We are still pulling in the Amber Autumn for our sentiments tonight because, as you can see, Autumn Trees does not have any sentiments, just our images. It's got 2... I don't have all my dies here because I have them over here because we're using them, but you do get 2 sleeves of dies. And I'll be using that tonight too, so we'll pull that out. Oh, we're using this one tonight too, so we'll pull this one out. There we go. All right. Get all this put back in here. Get it out of the way. And I think we're ready to get started. So tonight's cards are really cute. They are fall themed. We have Grateful for You. It has our tree with our multicolored leaves. We have our designer series paper there. Then we have a really simple autumn wishes with our little deer and our little leafless tree. And we even did a little surprise on the inside. And then, of course, our final card, again, multicolored. We stamped our tree this time and then die cut it. We have our little silhouette of our mama and baby deer. And it says thanks with a little twine bow there. Kept us more on the masculine side, but really enjoyed that card. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Oh, I did want to show you too. There's another stamp set that you could use. It's called the Right Words. When you have one of these stamp sets that has no sentiments in it, just images, a set like this one, the Right Words, has lots of different sentiments that would actually work really well as for it as well. Like that card I just showed with the thanks. We could have done "You're so kind," sending good vibes, happy birthday, thinking of you. So just another really good. Well, thank you, Kay. I'm so glad you like them. All right. So we're going to start with our first card here, which is our Grateful For You. And for this card, I have a thick, very vanilla card base. This measures 11 by 4¼ and I did score at 5.5. We're going to fold on that score line. And use our bone folder to get a nice crisp fold. Next, I have a couple pieces of our designer series paper. And basically what I did is I stacked 2 pieces of designer paper. I did this pattern and this pattern, and I stacked them together. And they were cut at 5 by 3¾ and then if you were just to imagine this as that piece being 5 by 3¾ and then I cut them on the diagonal, and then I used one for, I just shuffled them up basically to do it that way. I also have a piece of early espresso that measures 5¼ by 4, and that is for these designer series paper pieces to layer on, like so. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to adhere those. We're going to get our adhesive. I'm going to put the early espresso designer paper on the lower half. And you're looking to get 3 or 2, I should say, not 3, 2 equal borders along the bottom and along the side. And then we're going to put our other piece of designer series paper in the top angle. And I just butt those up just like so. Oh, hey, Laura. So happy to see you. All right. Now, before I adhere this to the card front, I do want to find my twine. Oops. So I have here, this is the Early Espresso and Old Olive Linen thread pack. So I'm going to use the Old Olive. Oh, I did forget to mention, for those who are interested, Stampin' Up! Is having a fantastic join special for the month of October, and it does start on Wednesday, October 1st. you can join Stampin' Up to be a demonstrator for $35. Now, with that $35, you will choose $125 in product. You're going to get free shipping, and you'll get a past paper pumpkin kit, and you're going to get all your business supplies. You're going to get catalogs. You're going to get everything you need to get started. You'll get a free, I think it's, I don't know, remember if it's 30 days or 90 days of a business website. Yeah, $35. Or you can join for $99 and you're going to pick out $185 in product, which is also amazing. And again, free shipping. Spread that out a little bit here with our twine. So it kind of makes an X, like so. And we need our snips. Trim. So if becoming a demonstrator has been on your radar at all, October is like the premium. I don't think I've ever seen them do a join deal this amazing. Like I said, $35. And you pick out $125 for this product. That's just crazy. Okay, so now I'm just going to take my adhesive, now that I've wrapped my twine, and we're going to add this to our card base. I'm blown away at how fabulous that deal is. All right. Next, did I? Of course I did. I am missing a piece of early espresso. Yeah, I gotta grab a piece of early espresso I am missing for our tree. I apologize. Thought I had it all. We are just gonna down a little bit. There we go. Okay, so for our tree base, we need our die. And we need this die. So the two of those are going to layer like so. And just to kind of keep everything together, we're gonna put our Post-it tape down. And we're gonna bring in the baby boss. We need our plates. And run that through. because there's so many little cuts in this. Oh, hey, Sid. No worries. We're just really getting started, honestly. I do like to run it through a couple of times just to make sure we capture all those little cuts. All right. And then we're just going to take our pokey tool here and we'll poke out all those pieces that didn't fall out. There we go. Now, I'm just going to take a few dimensionals. Let's see. And we're going to pop this tree up. I'm just looking for the solid areas where I can do that. All right, that looks good. Okay. And our little tree is going to snug right up there against that little knot on our bow. And there's our little tree. Isn't he cute? But he's not done yet. Put that there. And this can go there. We need all of our colored leaves. So I have pumpkin pie. I have darling duckling. And I have some mossy meadow. And the reason I chose mossy meadow over old olive is that what happens to be on the top of my scrap pile. No other reason, but it worked. So don't get fussy when you just need scraps. Sometimes it can be still work. Like I said, even though I'm using the old olive twine, the mossy meadow still worked. Okay. We got to bring back our plates. And we have this little detailed leaf die. And we're going to cut out one of each of these colors. So let's start with our old olive, or the mossy meadow, just because it's up top. Again, very detailed die with lots of cuts. So run it through a couple times just to make sure it cuts all the way through. And this really is a very detailed die. And if you're not careful, you can tear where things are connected. want to pop. There we go. So there's our green leaves. Next up, Darling Duckling. Go. Okay. Now I need our pokey tool to get this one out because this one stayed right in. Go. There's our yellow. And now we're going to do pumpkin pie. Oh, hey, Sue. Not to worry. We're really only just getting started on card number 1. Right now we're cutting up our leaves. And that should do it right there. Just carefully peeling away the excess. And now we can take our pokey tool and poke that out. These little pokey tool holes are genius for just this purpose. And again, just use caution because you want to pull too hard so you don't tear everything out of there. And there is our leaves. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in my liquid glue. And I'm going to start with our yellow or Darling Duckling. And we're just going to add little drops of glue. Okay. And for this, let's see. And it does help to take a block, set it down there for just a minute. Well, that sets. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive here to the pumpkin pie. Remove that. I'm going to bring this one. That's going to go off to the side like so. And again, put down our block. And now we need there's okay. Just gonna set that on there for a minute. All right, while that's setting for just a moment, we're gonna go ahead. I have a piece of Very Vanilla. This measures a 1/2 inch by 3 inches. And I have my sentiment, grateful for you. And I have my Oli Espresso ink pad. Thank you for sharing, Sue. I really appreciate that. And I have to tell you, thank you so much. I did get your feedback on my card genie. I really appreciate that very, very much. I'm so glad you found it useful. Okay, grateful for you. Close this up. Okay. Move that out of the way. And we're going to get our snips. And we're just going to cut a little angle cut. Like so. And then we want a dimensional. We're just using one at this flat end, and then the side that has the angle, we're just going to add a little bit of adhesive like that. And then that is going to lay just like so. Then bringing back those streaked dots, which are part of that entire suite. Gotta take your pick tool. Little one, the medium, and then the large. And there's our first card. Look how fun that is. We have all those different colored leaves. So pretty. All right, moving right along. We're going to do our second card, which is our Autumn Wishes, which is another really fun and simple card. So for this one, I have an Early Espresso card base. Again, we did 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. We'll fold on that score line, and we'll use our bone folder to burnish that out. Again, that beautiful toile paper. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. Love this stuff. Isn't it going on straight? Let's try that. Yeah, that looks better. There we are. I did go ahead and I cut this ahead of time. I cut this very vanilla. I did use the die from, again, this is from the Impressions of Bloom dies. I used this one here that does not have the stitching. It doesn't make a frame. It just cuts out the oval. And that's what this is cut from. And this is going to go on to our card base using some dimensionals. I love when Stampin' Up! Includes like these little frame type labels and die sets, because you can then stretch those dies and use them in your everyday crafting, not just with that particular set. So I love anything that has shapes like this that you can use. All right, so there's our little label piece. Next, oh shoot, you know what I forgot to do? Hopefully we can do it now with that dimensional in the way. We forgot to put our sentiment on there. I got all excited to get going on this card, but we needed to stamp our autumn wishes. This paper is amazing, Sue. You will not regret having this paper. And I don't know if you heard, if you came in after I was telling everyone, we have an amazing join special happening this month, or October, starting Wednesday. You can actually join Stampin' Up! For $35. You get $125 worth of product. Not too bad for screwing that up, considering there's dimensionals there. But yeah, you can choose $125 in product. You pay $35. You get free shipping. You get all your business supplies. You get a past paper pumpkin kit. What else? Oh, and of course, the best part, you save 20% on all future orders. While you remain an active demonstrator, you get, yeah, free shipping and 20% free shipping that one time. Then you get the 20% off all future orders then while you're remaining a demonstrator. So that's awesome. All right. So this is our inside piece. This measures 5 1/4 by 4. I have my little deer, and I'm going to use my early espresso. And we're just going to stamp him down there in the lower left-handed corner. Isn't he cute? And now we can put adhesive on this inside piece of our Very Vanilla. And this is going to go on the inside of our card. So now our inside is just as pretty as our outside. Now I have 2 pieces here. I have a little piece of Very Vanilla for our deer to die cut. And I have a little piece of early espresso to die cut our tree. So let's grab our deer again. We have our early espresso. It is amazing, Sue. Very amazing deal. The other option, because there's 2 options for joining this month, or for October, I should say. It's not this month yet. We got a couple days yet. two options. You can do the $35 and get $125 worth of product, which is mind blowing. Or you can do a $99 join and you pick out $185 in product and pay only $99, which is like crazy too. I mean, regardless of what you choose, it's amazing. And I have to say, I think they actually made this month or October's join almost a no-brainer. If you are placing an order, you might as well just join, because who places just a $35 order to make it not worth your time? I mean, usually if you're placing an order, you're placing at least $45, $50 an order product. So you might as well pick out $125 in product and just pay the $35. And if you have a really big wish list, get the $185 and pay $99. I mean, goodness gracious. You could almost wipe out your entire wish list. Okay, we need the baby boss again. We want our little tree and our little deer. And we're going to run those through. One more time on that little tree, because he does have a few extra branches on there. There we go. There's our little guy, our little tree. Now we gotta just pull that out. All right, we need our little pokey tool to get those last little I think it came out. All right, perfect. Oop. All right, so now for our little tree, we're gonna bring in a little liquid adhesive here. And I'm just gonna put a little just little dots. That should do it. And we're just gonna set that down there like so. Well, now my glue cover doesn't want to go on. What's up with that? There it goes. Okay. Now for our little guy, we want a little dimensional. We're actually just gonna take a little rib. Like so. And then those streaked dots. There's card number 2. The small bottles for the glue, I actually found those in Hobby Lobby for just about $2 and some change. And all I did was add our green glue. The Tombow is in here. Thanks for asking that question, Sherry. Yeah, they're from Hobby Lobby over in their paper crafting area. I found them. They're very handy because they have that nice little fine tip on it. And it fits a whole bottle of our Tombow glue. So no waste. All right, we are on to our final card, which is actually kind of a fun card. This one here. This is our thanks. So for this one, I have a Cajun Craze card base. This one's 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. So we'll go ahead and fold on that score line. And then using our bone folder, of course, we will get a nice crisp edge for that. I have a piece of the Designer Series paper. This measures 4 inches by, or 4 1/4 by 1 3/4. And we're just going to add adhesive. And this is just going to run right through the middle of our card base. Just like so. Right down the middle. Next, I have a piece of Very Vanilla. This is for our inside. That's 4 by 5 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and add my adhesive and put that on the inside of our card. And I have a scrap of Very Vanilla. And for this, I am going to bring in this great big tree. Now, this is a really large stamp, as you can see. So I'm using my background stamp block. This is block. Oh my goodness, where is the, there it is, F. This is the big Kahuna block. And I'm going to use my old olive ink pad. I'm going to ink this up. Like so. Pressure down. I know, okay, it really is hard. Okay, there we go. So there is our pretty little tree. And I'll set that aside. Now, I am using for the tree trunk, I have my Stampin' Blend. This is the Deep from the Skin Tone collection. So I'm using the Deep. And I'm just going in. I'm trying to see without glare. Just trying to find where the little tree branches are. There's the trunk of the tree. There's a branch. just kind of just putting color in to where these branches all kind of then I'm just going to flip to my other tip here. And now we're just going to fill in the rest of our trunk. Okay, so there we have our trunk all colored in. Next, I've got this little stamp here that's kind of like these little leaves, but they're little like more of what you see in here already in the green. But we're going to do this now. I'm going to start with crushed curry. And I'm just going to ink that up. And I'm just going to go in and start putting color. And then I just like to do that thumping technique where you just kind of like thump the color in. Next, I have here Cajun Craze. Again, no real rhyme or reason, just getting extra color in there. And then close that up. We need to clean this one off. We want some more of our green. So we're going to get that old olive again. And then, just because I felt like I lost some of my yellow, we're going to get more of that Daffodil Delight. I don't care that I went out a little bit there because we're cutting this out. There we go. So now we can get that tree cut out. So that looks pretty good. Okay, so now we have our tree cut. We're going to go ahead and I put this down flat. And off to the left edge of our card. Okay. Next, I do have a piece of that early espresso. I have just a scrap piece, just large enough to cut our deer silhouette, which is like a nice little border die here. So again, I'm going to get this right at the bottom, lined up like so. Whoop. Straight. And we're just going to get our Post-it tape just to kind of hold it. Grab our thanks. Okay, I'm glad you like that. It's a pretty cool technique, and it works really well when you're trying to do like a lot of coloring like that. All right, that shifted a little bit, so we did get a thinner border on that end of our deer, but that's okay. Just going to use a little bit of liquid glue because again, whoop, keeping things flat. We'll just put that on there to hold for just a second. And then I did go ahead and I die cut an oval from some scrap Berry Vanilla. And again, this oval came from the, we used them last week. This is the framed seams dies. I used the smaller of the two ovals. And again, these are on that last chance list. I use them a lot. And then we have thanks, and we use our Cajun phrase to do that. So we're going to ink up thanks. Right there in the center. And of course, this gets popped up because everything else is flat on this card. We can pop this up. Come out of the way. That's going to go right there over our tree to the right. There we go. Straight would be good. Okay. Then bring that twine back. This time using the early espresso. And I just tied a simple bow. If my fingers would cooperate. There we go. There we are. Trim those tails. And for this, we're going to use this glue dot. And that's going to go right underneath thanks on our oval. So I'm going to trim those just a little bit more. And that finishes our third card. So let's recap. So there's our third card. Here's our second Autumn Wishes card. And our Grateful for You. And that's all she wrote. All super easy, fun, but very fall. Next week, we are going to jump right into Christmas, though. It's time. I've held off as long as I can. We're going to get into Christmas. I do hope, though, you did see my friend Cindy and I, our first drop for our Christmas series. Next week, we drop our second video. Oh, thank you, Kay. I'm so glad you like them. Really appreciate that. So yeah, so we have started dropping our Christmas series. Every 2 weeks we will feature one set. Her and I each designed 2 cards. Last week we dropped our Jar of Joy. Next week we will drop our Shepherd's Care. And then 2 weeks from then we'll drop Peace on Earth. So yeah, we have started the Christmas series. Oh, good, Sue, you saw it? Thank you. Glad you liked it. All right, ladies, again, as always, I thank you so very much for coming to hang out with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your day to hang and get inspired. So again, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you very much. I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And God willing, I will see you next week. God bless and have a great day, guys. Bye for now. If my mouse will cooperate. All right, guys. Bye for now.